Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. It is a rainy Saturday morning here, which is very, very nice. So yeah, we're gonna be just doing some game dev today. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing, but we'll figure something out. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. So if you want to support my work, that's a great way to do so. The link for this is in the description below. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. This one is the Survivor style course. It's in GDScript, and I think you will like it. It's a great way to kickstart your Godot learning journey and also to support me. I also have a C# course, so if you're interested in that, that is available as well. And I'm working on a new online cooperative multiplayer course as well, which is nearing completion. So I'm hoping to have that done before the end of the month. My cat is obsessed with something right now. There's nothing there, buddy. So yeah, check out the links in the description below for all the ways you can support me, and let's get right into it. So admittedly, I actually don't know what to work on today. There are a number of good candidates, but we'll figure it out. Hello, Edo Makes Games. I'm Edox, changed my name. Okay. Welcome, Edo. Hello, Kendra. Fire Rally Gams. Yes, indeed, welcome. Hello, Luigi Dev. Good morning. I can't wait for that course. Well, good morning to you as well. I don't know what my cat is up to. He's being weird. You know how cats will sometimes just like stare at the corner for no reason? That's what he's doing. There's nothing there, bud. There's nothing there. Okay. So yeah, so there's a bunch of problems with the game still. I think we're finally done with the widget. And, well, no, there's one issue remaining with the widget, but I'm not going to spend any more stream time on that. The main things that I want to get done are, so we got this giant finger done, which is great. I'm very happy with how that turned out. So there's a couple of problems. There is no currency anymore. I ripped out that feature, so that needs to be put back, because if you don't have currency, then you can't purchase anything at the shop, which makes sense, right? But then there's also these card indicators here. I want to do some work on the card indicators. I had a different idea for how to indicate certain things on the cards. Like these dots here, those are supposed to be damage indicators, but they're barely visible and also they're broken. So I might just remove that entirely. And so here's the shop. So the shop, yeah, there is no price information, or there's no actual pricing going on in here. So probably going to want to do that and figure out where to put the currency, somewhere on the left side here, I guess. But yeah, I might also, now that I'm looking at it, I think the UI, yeah, I think I could, this inventory UI over here probably needs to follow the style that I've been doing with the shading and the highlights and stuff. So make it look more physical, I guess. So like this widget here has a bunch of highlighting going on, but this part of the inventory doesn't. So I may actually redo some of this art here. Also got a long-standing problem with how the boards are displaying. There's no border here. This is like a gap. So there's lots of stuff to do still. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I think the most important thing from a gameplay perspective is that currency. Because right now, the combat encounters are supposed to be like, they're obviously risky because you could die during a combat encounter, but the reward is going to be currencies that you can spend at the shop. So as I'm thinking about it right now, the combat encounters are going to be the only place that you can get currency. So if you want to make use of a shop, you have to fight things to get some money. So, and then there will be other uses for money, I'm sure, that I haven't yet thought of. But that's kind of like a smorgasbord of things that needs to be done. This health screen needs to be redone as well. This does not at all follow the sort of new style that I've got going on. So I got to think of something interesting for that. So lots of work to do still, but we're getting it done. And then of course, this transition into the boss fight needs to be made better. There is no widget here, so that's a problem. And yeah, so lots of stuff to do. I think the currency is probably a good idea, so maybe we'll focus on that. Still haven't decided what I want the currency to be. I'm using that little blood icon, just using blood as a currency, which I think sounds fine. So we'll see. Cat reveal when? There he is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hello, cool modern Jaden. Glad to be here once again. Yeah, welcome back. Good to have you here. Clark, welcome. What is that? I don't know what that means. Okay. Backpack Battle was released in 1.0 and it's amazing. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, I might buy that game and test it out to see what kind of decisions they're making. Their game is different. I mean, auto battler grid inventory management is kind of like the same thing here, but that's an asynchronous multiplayer, right? Whereas this is a roguelike. So, but I think there's still probably a bunch of ideas I can borrow from Backpack Battles. So I'm gonna have to give it a shot. But let's see what we can do regarding the currency. Did the game not inspire you? It did. I mean, I haven't played it, but I have seen like the trailers and some gameplay as well. So Backpack Battles is a loose inspiration. I'm more inspired by the Bazaar. But yeah, anyway, so let's see. It's a C Boyardee reference. Love your stuff. Sorry, I don't know if YouTube allows me to. We'll try to keep it professional, but love your stuff. Been watching your vids lately too. I'm into Godot and pixel art. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Clark. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And welcome again. All right, so where is the currency stuff? Okay, generate combat encounters. It's generating currency in here. Difficulty, get minimum distance to node. Interesting. So I'm scaling the difficulty of the combat encounters based on their distance away from the start. Okay. So I'm already storing the currency value inside of this combat configuration. So I just need to make sure, so set combat configuration for node, set combat configuration. So I've got the currency already, so I guess I can just go into the map node, I think. Yeah. Combat info container. So I guess I would put the currency in here somewhere. Wonder if I should change this heart icon. Well, let's just do this first. Let's add another child node, hbox container. Did I change the separation here? I didn't. Okay, so we'll create another hbox container, put that in there, and then we're gonna change this type to a vbox container. Okay, so now I can do another hbox container. Change this. Quick load. Blood. That'll work. Let's see here. I want to center this vertically. Where is that? Vertical alignment center. Bottom? Okay, that's not working. Maybe I have to give this a custom minimum size. It's not quite centered with the icon. Bottom? There we go, that'll work. Okay, combat currency label. Mark that as unique name. I think that should work. So I go into the map node here. Let's get a reference to that combat currency label. Combat currency label dot text is equal to combat configuration dot currency dot toString. Cool. So now in my run manager, I think I have a combat completed. State combat preparation. Oh, how is this working? How is this working? On-queued combat handled. So this is where the combat is being ended. So there's a combat configuration that I need to load in here. Goodness gracious. Ah, this is a mess. Okay, so we get the combat configuration there. Oops. Currency manager. All right, so I think what I need to do is just do this dot get currency manager dot add blood. Nope, add blood. Is this not public? Oh, it's static. Why is it static? Okay, well, I'll do that then. Wait, is this? Goodness, okay. I don't know why. All right, well, whatever. I made all those static, so we'll just do currency manager.add blood. Okay, so that's gonna work, I think. Where's the currency display? How is this different? Copy this, paste this over here. Okay, that'll work. I wonder if I just put the currency manager or currency display here. How do I want to position this? Let me think. How do I want to do this? Currency container, ignore on the mouse, put the currency display there. Currency container, let's just do... Actually... Okay. Custom minimum size, 64. No, 32. Not quite. I might as well change this. Actually, it's fine. Let's change the separation here to something like 2 instead. All right. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. I wasn't there a while. What are you working on now? Well, right now, just working on other elements of the game. So trying to get the currency working. So this is going to reward 10 blood. I need to outline that heart as well. And I might also, just in this map node here, this VBox container, let's change the, let's see, what am I changing? Separation. We'll make it 0, why not? Make the separation 0. Yeah, that looks a little bit nicer to me. 43 health, 10 blood as a result, so we'll go ahead and do this. Just go ahead and run. So that gave me 10 blood, so now I've got 10 blood down here. All right. Hello, Amin. Welcome. Check out Moon Sigil Atlas game. It has a board. It's a card battler without energy. Interesting. I will do that. Streaming game dev, pure genius. Chat as pseudo rubber ducky. Yeah. Welcome back, Balato. Welcome back. Maybe you should put somewhere in text about what you were doing so if somebody came late, they do not need to ask. It's okay, I don't mind it. It would be too much work. I mean, I already have to go through so many steps to get the stream set up. I don't want to add another step. Also, it kind of changes what I work on. Hello, Arion, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, Joshua. Welcome back. I've missed a few streams. Things are looking good, man. Thank you. Nice morning. So early today, yeah. I was up early. But, yeah, we're doing some work. Hello, cat. You gonna go lay down? Goodbye. Cats. So we'll go do this combat. So I want some kind of animation. I want to play some kind of currency animation. Because the currently winning combat is a little bit underwhelming. So I would love to do some kind of like animation showing the player what currency they've gotten. But right now, I think the most important thing is to... Hold on. Sorry, the cats are distracting me. They're being very active today. It's also raining here today, but I'm in Argentina, pretty far. Oh, yeah. That is pretty far. So I still want to put some things here. Oh, I've got a whole relic system that I haven't built out very well yet. So I'm going to have to do relics too. Goodness gracious, there's a lot to do. But I think the next most important thing is we need to get these shop things actually working. So now that I've got currency back in the game, let me just make sure this works too. There we go. Yeah, it would be nice to just have kind of like a generic like currency gain animation. I'm thinking like a blood explosion that just sends a trail of blood over to the inventory here. That might look kind of awkward in the combat scenario, but selling something would be kind of cool. Like, boom, you sell, it explodes in blood, and then, you know, filters over into here. But let's go ahead and add some actual prices into the shop. So add currency back. Okay, so inside of the shop, okay, so the purchase, I see. So we've got set option. I'm going to need to set a price here as well for the shelf. Okay, so I think this is going to be relatively simple. So what I'll do is I'll set a base price. So I'll say var base price is equal to, you know what? I need to start using, shoot. I need to start using a global seed for everything. How am I going to do that actually? So I want to enable seeded runs, which means that... So the seed should control... It controls the map generation, so the seed controls the map generation, but it also needs to control what items you get from the various events, right? Otherwise, the seeded run wouldn't really make much of a difference, right? So you need to, if you have a seed, you need to be able to have all of the same options, whether it's enchantments or map node opportunities or shop inventory. Which means that all that stuff needs to be basically generated ahead of time, which is not what's currently happening. So what's currently happening when you go into the shop is... When you go into the shop, that's when it's picking the cards randomly. But the reason that needs to be generated ahead of time is because it'll be order dependent otherwise. So even if I made this use like the global seed, if you visited one shop before another, it might... yeah, it would affect the location, right? So if you've got two players playing on the same seed, and one player visits the north shop first and one player visits the south shop first, those shop inventories are going to be equal if they're being generated on demand. But the shop inventories need to be specific to the shop location on the map, right? Which means that that data needs to be configured ahead of time. So it's probably a good idea, before I go any further, for me to generate this stuff like during the map generation phase with that seed. All right, so maybe that's actually something that I should start working on now before I go into the shop prices and whatnot. Yeah. Alrighty, so, shoot, okay. Now the question is, should I generate this all at the run map level? So no, that's the run map. Run map generator. And these event loot tables, these also need to use the right random number generator. Okay. All right, well, I guess this is going to be a little bit more involved than I thought it would be. Have you used seeded runs before? I have not. No, this will be the first time I'm doing something like that. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf, now get ready for Ohio Kid making Necromancer Grid. No, that's very nice. Clever, Adam. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hello from Turkmenistan. Hello, Iron. Welcome. I'm eating at McDonald's and I remembered you. Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me while you're eating here at McDonald's. I might have to get some McDonald's myself today. Yeah, that sounds good. Just gonna drop by and say hi. Welcome, Dragon Apple. Good to see you. All right, so it looks like this is turning into a seeded run stream. So now I gotta figure out how to re-architect this kind of stuff. So there's a couple of requirements. So I need to generate all of the encounter options ahead of time rather than isolated to the various events that they've got, or the various state machines rather. So like the enchant is gonna be another problem. So this enchant event machine. This is picking enchantment options here as well. So yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of refactoring to go in here. All right, so what I might do is, so I've got my run map generator. You know what I'll do? I'll just call it a seeded run. So let's do this. So basically, I'm going to need to generate everything all at one phase for each level. So what I'll do is I'll call generate. It'll create the map. It'll create all the map nodes. It will generate all the combat configurations. It will generate all the shop inventories. It will generate all the enchantment options. And that will get stored in a big object. And then when you go to the next level after beating the boss, it will run that again. So it'll generate everything related to the map all at once at the same time. So that's going to need to go where? Where is my run map generator even at? Data map. Okay. So let's just create a new file. I'm just going to call it seeded run, like so. And we'll just start with this. Namespace game.data.map. I don't know if it's proper to put it in the map namespace, but public class seeded run. Public seeded run. Is it a uint? Ulong. Ulong seed. Can I do constructor overloading? Such a basic question. I think I can, right? Yeah. Okay. Var No, what am I doing? Private random number generator RNG. RNG equals new RNG random number generator RNG.randomize. Why does this not work? Oh, it's using the wrong random number generator, that's why. It's got to use the Godot random number generator. RNG.randomize. So we can call seeded run without a seed, or we can say RNG is equal to new random number generator. And then we'll set the seed. Okay. So there's our seeded run. So we're going to want a couple of things here. Maybe I'll store the map in here. Private run map, run map. All right, so in my run map, or my run manager here, got this RNG, yeah. So let's get rid of this. Let's rename this to create seeded run. Oops. Create seeded run in here. I'm going to say var seeded run is equal to new seeded run. Okay. Private void generate. Called generate in here, generate in there. Run map is equal to new run map generator RNG.generate. So that's going to pass in the RNG there. Okay. So then we're going to need to borrow this as well. Generate combat configurations. Let's just let's just cut this out and paste this in here. So I might as well break this out too. Private void generate map. Generate map. Generate combat encounters. Generate shop inventories. Generate enchant options. What else? I think the health might need to be done as well. Generate health options. In any case, so generate combat encounter, we need link. Let's bring link in. Calculated health, get enemy board health difficulty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about this. Calculated health. Oh, this needs to be used this dot RNG. Enemy board configuration manager. So I'm going to need that as well. Map nodes, map UI. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a little bit annoying. It's okay. It's all right. Do we need seeds? I think so. I think because, I mean, that's just how, like, what people expect of roguelikes. And, you know, I also have to consider, like, in the event that a streamer picks up the game or whatever and has, like, a bonkers run, you know, the ability for other people to also experience that seed and, like, replicate that run, I think is going to be very important. And it's not really going to be that much effort. So I just need to move around the data and how it's generated. I should have done this earlier, but doing it now actually minimizes the amount of effort I need to do. And it's actually going to clean up the code quite a bit because I'm going to have all of the run data being generated in this class here. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. Changing everything sounds painful. It can be, but, you know. Just bought Gunforge. Thank you. Appreciate that, Bellato. Not only do I want to play it, I want to try a Godot C# game. Dog fooding doesn't sound right. Yeah. Snupbill, thank you for the IDR 10,000. I very much appreciate that. And we got the message Yummers. Thank you, thank you. We all look forward to that Yummers message as we do every day. So welcome back, Snupbill. Very good to see you as always, and thank you again. That's very generous. How are we doing? I'm doing well, my Coon Dev. Thank you. How are you doing? Hello, Damien. It's been a few days since I last dropped by. How have we all been? Great, thank you. How are you? Weather's oddly good here in England. Well, the weather here, it's raining. I got my window open. I can hear the pitter-patter of the rain outside. It's very nice. The cats are all snuggled up under the blanket. I'm doing some game dev. Can't really get much better of a morning, can ya? Anyway. Pick board configurations. So, yeah. How am I going to get the enemy board configuration manager into here? Also, this pick board configurations, shoot. This is probably using math-util RNG in here, so this needs to be the same as well. Scaled board configuration model. Is there a reason why this needs to be a node? I need to replace my loot table implementation too. Get tier for configuration. I don't think there's any reason why. Why does this need to be a node? Okay. I don't think that needs to be a node. Enemy board configuration manager. Let me just see if that's the case. Is this ever being used, this event state machine context? I don't think this is necessary. So delete a bunch of things. Then what I'll do is this enemy board configuration manager. We're not going to make this extend node. Public static class. Let's put this into, let's get rid of this notification. Okay, let's move this into, I'm putting everything into the map folder. This might get renamed. Let's do this. New folder, run. We'll put the map under there. Oh, wait. No, that's good. Move the seeded run to the root directory. Okay, this game.data.run.map. Run.map. this actually can go to the run here. So this is just .run. Run map. Oops. Run map there. Run map there. Okay, that should basically fix everything. Okay, so we're good there. Get rid of all this. I'll just close everything, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the enemy board configuration manager. This is just a static class now, which is great. Okay. So we're gonna want to take in an RNG here, random number generator, RNG, loot table.set RNG, or set random RNG. Anywhere where I'm using mathUtil needs to be replaced with that RNG value. Okay. Enemy board configuration manager. So in seeded run now, this becomes enemy board configuration manager. We need to pass in the RNG value here. Okay. Map nodes to combat configuration. Where is the combat configuration? Oh, it's in state machine. Okay, interesting. I guess that's fine. It's pretty hot here in Greece, sadly. I do not like the heat either. Hello, Emerson. Good morning to you. Programming when it rains outside goes crazy hard. Yes, indeed. Especially if your desk is next to a window getting hit by the rain. That's my setup right now. The window's like 5 feet away from me. Free ASMR. IRL lo-fi beats the program too, yep. 100% zoned in, absolutely. I may have passed my cybersecurity exams, didn't need to hack the paper after all. Congratulations, my Coon Dev, that's great. Happy to hear that. How are you working on the... I'm working on the Jams game today. The theme is unseen. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Today is a good day for a game jam. Hello, Neozoid, welcome. Good to see you. So now I need to get that map nodes. Oops. Run manager. Map nodes to combat configuration. I'm just gonna put this all in the seeded run here. And I'll probably just make this the object that I interact with throughout the rest of the system. This, I'm gonna need to fix this to put this good spot. Okay. Okay, let me just get everything fixed up here. So current run map node, do I want to... I guess I can store that on the run manager. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But now I gotta go fix the issues. Oh. Combat configuration. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the seeded run now. So I'm gonna say public combat configuration, get combat configuration for node. Why does this not work? Oh, I need a semicolon. Okay, so now here we're gonna say, I need to store a reference to the seeded run actually. So private seeded run. Public run map node, start node. I guess I am going to need a reference to the run map. Public run map. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Generate combat encounters is no longer a thing. Set combat configuration for node. Well, I guess we'll just do this. If hold on a second. Maybe I'll just pass in the seeded run object here. No, maybe not. Don't really want to do that out here though. All right, what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of a compromise here. Public void configure combat encounters. Var run map node and seeded run dot run map nodes. Combat configuration is get combat configuration for node. Yeah, that seems right. This can become private. I guess this doesn't even need to be here anymore. I can just do this. Okay. And then in my run manager, map UI dot set or configure. What did I call it? Ah, shoot. Why do I even do this? This is kind of useless. Okay, well, I guess that's just a useless class now. Oh, goodness, that's okay. Oh, wait. Why did I do that? Never mind, it's not useless. I just want to get rid of this. Okay. Configure combat encounters, seeded run. Okay. Combat configurations, is this necessary? Where is this being used? Oh, this needs to be seeded run dot Man, why is this so difficult? Really? I guess I can get rid of this then. If that's no longer necessary, then it's no longer necessary. This needs to be seeded run.get combat configuration for node, current run map node. All right. All right. All right, let's see what I failed to update. We'll build that. I think this is going to work. I just moved a bunch of stuff around. It didn't do anything super complicated. Enemy board configuration manager. This is just a static class now. So get rid of that. And then what is this? Run map generator. Oh, this is a test map. Let's do new seeded run. RNG. I don't know why I'm doing this. Just get rid of this. Oops. Okay, let's build now. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's go ahead and run the game and see what I broke. Villager 1, prayer beads 1. Do I have the seed being output? I do. Oh, it printed it twice. Why did it print it twice? Oh, I'm printing it in here too. Well, it's good to know that that's the, it's good to know that that's the same seed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this seed here, just in case I wanna test it out. So what do we got here? We've got 38.6, everyone remember these numbers. Everyone, I need you to remember everything here. Okay, here we go, ready? 38.6, Villager 2, Prayer Beads 1, 60.13, Windmill 1, Dog 1, Villager 1, 56.11, Arming Sword 1, Villager 2, Arming Sword 1. All right, everyone got those things? Okay, thank you for remembering. So that's working great. 38, okay. So now let me put that seed in. Just make sure it's working exactly as it should. Where is the seeded run being created? Why am I getting lost in this crap? Sorry for my language. All right, so let's see. Seeded run will pass in that number there. All right, let's go ahead and run. Someone joked about me hacking the exam paper instead of studying it. Oh yeah, I remember that. Did you see that GitHub Copilot went free recently? Kind of nice not have to pay anymore. Is that true? I'm still paying for it. Maybe paying gives you access to better models. 38.6, Villager 2, Prayer Beads 1, 60.13, Windmill 1, Dog 1, Villager 1, Arming Sword. That all seems right to me as far as I remember them. And that layout looks the same as well. I mean, the seeded run was working in terms of the layout previously, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, layout is exactly the same. The combat encounters are exactly the same. So yeah, the main thing is that the shop now needs to have its inventory generated as well as these enchants. So these things that can have inventories or options, those options need to be generated ahead of time. So that when you use the seed, it's exactly the same. All right, let me see. I think, oh shoot. Oh no, I forgot. I should have moved those things through the Godot editor, because now I'm gonna have a bunch of UID files hanging around. Let me go clean those up. Or wait, did I just move those? Oh, I just moved them. They weren't generated. Okay, so there shouldn't be any UIDs hanging around actually. Let me just make sure though. Open that in File Manager. That looks good. Yeah, I just moved them, so... Okay, yeah, we're good. Although this seeded run.uid, this is extra. That's not necessary. All right. UIDs, you know? So that was kind of good too because it cleaned up some of the code in the run manager as well. So that's great. All right, so the next step is we got to generate, let's do shop configuration because that's the thing that I started with. Okay. Add proper support for seeded runs. And the nice thing about this too is that now when I want to change how the game is being generated, that all exists within this seeded run. So if I want to change how the combat encounters are generated, if I ever want to change how the shop items are generated, and I could break this up even more. I could like add some sub generators in here, but it's just nice that all of my run configuration now is being defined in this class here. And then I can just go in here and make tweaks that will be reflected throughout the game instead of having a bunch of different randomization codes scattered throughout. So yeah, that's going to be the next thing to do is the shop configurations here. Good morning, Real Cruda. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. I've been Godot for 3 hours and I'm here to take a break. Awesome. Welcome, Yeet. You pay for the pro version for better models. Yeah. I mean, the pro version is not that expensive either. It's only like $10 a month. So I am paying for that. I'm actually paying for it twice. Once on my personal GitHub and once on my professional GitHub that I use for the part-time consulting work. But I think it's well worth the $10 a month. Told me it has a free version of Visual Studio when I last opened it. Awesome. You don't get Claude AI, yeah. I understand the UID stuff. I read the article, I can get why they did it, but I don't think I'll ever be happy about it. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. Do you do sound and music for your games? I don't, no. I use a sound effects library, and I usually hire a musician for the music. Yeah, I just bought the pro version, yeah. It's reasonably priced, for sure. I mean, compared to Cursor, Cursor is $20 a month, which Cursor is a great tool. But yeah, anyway. All right, I'm gonna take a quick 3-minute break. And when I come back, we're gonna have to implement the generation code for the shop inventory. So that's gonna be fun. Oh, I also already addressed that, so that can go away. Remove to-do. So give me just 3 minutes. In the meantime, check out the links in the description below for all the ways you can support my work. I'll be right back and we'll continue on with this work. All right, I'm back. Welcome back to me. How did you learn pixel art? Been editing some assets to make them fit my game. Surprisingly, building experience on Minecraft translated well, but I'm still not confident to make everything myself. So the way that I learned, I actually have a video that you can watch, the 5 most impactful pixel art tips that I learned. But I think if I were to boil it down to a simple statement, it's you have to adopt constraints. So start with a smaller canvas size, like 16 by 16 or 32 by 32, and start with 2 colors, black and white, and try to draw basically anything using those constraints, right? You can draw little towers, you can draw like a little knight or something, a sword, whatever you want to draw. And because you have those constraints, because you don't have a huge canvas size, because you can't choose from millions of colors, you're really forced to focus on the placement of each individual pixel and see how the placement of one pixel can completely change how your art is perceived. And that's a really great way of like accelerating a little bit of learning on pixel art or with pixel art. But I would encourage you to watch that video because I've got other tips as well. But yeah, that would be the main thing. And that's how I started, really. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a method called generate shop inventories. I don't know what the AI just auto-completed to, but that's all right. Let's see, close to the right. Shop container. Set shelf options. Okay. So we got pick cards in here. Context card loot table manager. Pick cards. So I am going to need the card loot table manager, I think. The problem with this card loot table manager is that it needs the RNG as well. Shoot. Oh, this is gonna have to be true. Oh, I need to update the boosters and stuff too. Oh, okay. It's frustrating not to get it right straight away, but I'm getting there. And yeah, I'm on 16 by 16. Yeah, you just got to be patient and just yeah, keep at it. You'll be surprised at just the learning that you can do over the course of just a couple of weeks. I think you'll see really good improvement just over that short period of time. Now I'm trying to think, do I want to make, let's see. If I'm doing a seeded run, is it important that everything is exactly the same? I'm trying to think of how other games do this. Like, I think there's 2 strategies to doing a seeded run, right? You make the map the same and all like the points of interest the same. But the individual items that can drop can stay random. So what I'm thinking about is like, so the shop, I can generate the shop inventory so that they're the same. That makes sense. But for like the boosters, where you can go in and select different cards, is it important that those always drop the same cards? And the other question too is, what happens if I have some kind of feature in the game where you can't unlock certain cards until you meet certain conditions? Does that mean that there are certain seeds that you can't play because that would generate different cards, or... So like if I go to this booster up here, like is it absolutely important that all of these booster options are the same? So in other words, if I'm doing a seeded run, these all need to be, it needs to be ritual, relic, and alchemical every time, and then the individual choices need to be the same every time as well. Is that important, or is it okay to leave the boosters as like random? I don't know. Honestly, GitHub Copilot can be a lifesaver. Yeah, that's true. Hello, welcome back, Falitao. How's coding today? It's going well. Yeah. So yeah, welcome back. Ask yourself, will a speedrunner need it to replicate? Well, I'm not putting in seeds for speedrunner. I don't think this is a speedrun kind of game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just putting in seeds so that people can play runs that end up being particularly fun or challenging. So that's my end goal. And I guess, yeah, I guess the choice of the cards would be important then if the run was challenging. So maybe it is important to make everything the same. That's how I determine if something needs to be replicated within the seed. That said, you don't have to do that. Yeah. Some elements left to chance are better for roguelites, I think. Yeah, so I guess I don't know what all needs to be seeded and what doesn't. I think the combat encounters definitely need to be the same on the seeds. And I think that the boss definitely needs to be the same on the seed. I think probably the shop inventories and the enchantment options need to be the same on the seed. But I think the boosters, maybe the boosters don't need to be. Like maybe the boosters can stay random. I don't know. I don't know how to think about this. Change all properties with... I don't know what that means, Neozoid. Sorry. What do you think about a seeded run? What you think about a seeded run is we'll be able to progress the game or just for fun? The only purpose for the seeded run is, again, so people can play a fun or challenging run that they saw someone else play. You know? Like, imagine if a streamer played and just had, like, a really, like, particularly challenging run, or the opposite, a particularly strong run with, like, all kinds of ridiculous bonuses. Like, giving people the opportunity to experience that same run to a large extent is what the seeds are for. It is an option, yeah. I mean, by default, you're just going to be playing on a random seed, but the idea is that if you share a seed with somebody, they can put it in their game and they can play the same run that you just played. If it were me playing this game, I would want the cards and drops to be random, honestly. I would want the same enemies and locations, but the excitement of your game comes from the RNG. In this case, I would keep the same items and monster, otherwise it wouldn't be the same run. In that case, it shouldn't be random. If I play again... Okay, so I'm seeing arguments for both. So one argument is like all of the major encounters are the same. So the combats are the same, the boss is the same. Maybe the shops are the same, maybe the enchantments are the same, but the individual cards and relics that drop could be different. So that you could keep playing that seed because it's got a good layout or a challenging layout or whatever, but it's still up to the randomness of the cards how you play it. I think that's okay, so I think that's a good way of thinking about it. So it's kind of like playing with the hand that you're dealt, right? You don't have control over the hand that you're dealt, but the rules of the game stay the same in terms of the map layout and like what's available in the shops and what's available in the enchantment options. I mean, it could even randomize the enchantment options, I guess, but I do think it's important to keep the shops the same. That feels like something that should be the same, because then you can plan around that, right? Like, well, okay, so I'm going to go to the shop on the 8th traversal, and I know that there's going to be this card there for this amount of money, right? So I think that's going to be important. But the boosters, I don't think are as important to keep. Like, the boosters can remain random. Maybe the enchants can remain random as well. I meant like a checkbox for randomized booster. Oh, I see. Yeah. I got you now. I've seen a game where all item and rewards RNG is the same, but if you play your cards in different order in battle, it changes the rewards. Yeah, so I don't know. That seems like a wrong implementation of seed. Like, the whole reason I rewrote this stuff is to keep it order independent. So whatever nodes you visit first don't affect how the seed plays out. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the purpose of a seed, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. If you building it for replay because it's fun and not for speed running, then I think that's spot on. Okay, I'm feeling comfortable about that. So we'll keep the boosters random. We'll generate the shop inventories ahead of time. We'll generate all the combat encounters ahead of time, and obviously the map will be the same every run. And we'll just start with that, and I can always fix that later if people don't like it, I guess. If I'm a player and I see a streamer play a certain seed and I have all the same options they have, I won't have a different run. It should be similar in some ways and different in others. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for your input. I think we've got a good path forward now. So, okay. So now I can generate the shop inventories, but I'm gonna need card loot table manager. So the reason I made this a node is because this may need to respond to game events at some point. Set up loot table. I need to create a new loot table implementation too, like I said. This is going to be kind of sloppy, but I'm going to do this. Ah, no, that's not going to work. Shoot, okay. How am I going to get... Let me think. Maybe I'll just create a new folder for loot table in here. Card loot table manager. Let's delete this. Oh, card loot table manager. Where is that? Delete that here. Delete that here. We're going to move this into loot table there. Card loot table. I'm going to change this to game.data.loot table. Okay. Let's make this a static class, not extend node. Private, static, read only. Okay, let me see what that breaks first. Run manager. Card loot table manager, we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that. Card loot table manager. Enter state booster selection. So this is going to be card loot table. I'm going to need to figure that out. Shop event state machine. This is changing, so that's good. Card loot table dot set random. RNG is equal to null, question mark, math-util RNG, otherwise RNG. Null check can be simplified. What do you mean null check can be simplified? What is going on? Thank you. Oh wait, I can do RNG math-util.rng. No? What? Oh, did I use the wrong random number generator. Oops. Okay, we'll get it eventually. And this set random, all this does is assign the random that's used in the picking of data. Okay, so that should work. So I can pass in an RNG now. Okay. All right, good. This pick cards is going to go away, so I'm going to get rid of this. We will figure out all that stuff in a second. Generate shop inventories. Okay. Min additional tier, we'll just hard code that to 1 for now. Hello, pseudonym. I added gamepad support for my game, but I don't actually own a gamepad to test with. I coded a fake gamepad simulator to test it. I have a retro handheld that should be arriving Monday. Very nice. Nice work. Yeah, gamepad support is a pain. I can imagine it's even more of a pain if you don't have a gamepad. I have a question to ask. I don't know what you're asking, Neozoid. I'm sorry. Copy? Are you asking a copy of all properties of GPU particles 2D? I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking. I have to say this game has something that Gunforge doesn't. I can't quite put my finger on it. Some magic, no diss to Gunforge. No, I totally agree with you. There is definitely something special here about this game, and I think I actually am nervous about that because I'm worried about fumbling the execution. So, but yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, it has some kind of spark. I guess the way that I would maybe phrase it is that it feels more inspired, I guess. I don't know how I would necessarily describe that, but yeah, there's just something like eye-catching about it, something like generally intriguing about it. So I totally agree with you. Like, yeah, I agree. I would definitely put, in terms of just like the idea or the pitch, I think that this game is more interesting than Gunforged. How it ultimately turns out remains to be seen. So we'll see, but Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Okay. All right. So yeah, in here, generate shop inventories. We got this card loot table. No, card loot table. What? Oh. Card loot table. Pick cards. RNG. The other problem is there's going to be a memory leak here. That's going to be a problem. Because this creates a card stats object here. Which... Well, maybe not, actually. No, it's ref counted. Maybe not. Yeah, it should be fine, actually. It should be fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so combat configuration. Don't I have a configurations directory? Data configuration, board, combat. I may move the combat configuration away from that. Combat configuration. We'll take this, I'm going to move it into the configuration directory. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Does it make sense? I don't know. Game.data.configuration. I'm going to create a new file in here, shop configuration. Namespace, game.data.configuration. Can't fumble if you never release. Truer words have never been spoken. My strategy is to miss 100% of the shots I never take. Anyway, public shop configuration. So in here, I'm going to need to store some things. So I guess for now, it's just going to be private. Let's do class. No. Class card configuration. Card stats. Yeah. Price. Yeah, that works. Okay. We'll worry about that in a second. Okay. Private read-only dictionary, run map node, shop configuration, map nodes to shop configuration. Okay. So now we're going to construct the configuration in here. Var shop configuration is equal to new shop configuration. Card configuration is equal to shop configuration dot card configuration. So this is new. Card configuration dot card is equal to card. Is that what I called it? Oh, card stats. And we need to determine the price now. So let's do var base price is equal to RNG dot rand I range. Let's do somewhere between, maybe we'll do 5 and 10. And then we'll say base price times equals card.tier. How can I, base card.tier. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit too steep of a price. Let's do 4 and 7. So we're going to randomize the base price of the card, and then we're just going to multiply it straight out by the tier. So if it's a tier 2 card, it'll be a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 14. Those costs may get out of control, but we'll see. Card configuration dot price is equal to, let's just rename this to price. Okay. So now what I can do is card configuration. Card configurations is equal to new shop configuration dot card configuration cards dot length. Convert to normal for loop. Thank you. Okay. So card configurations, right, and then I can do shop configuration dot card configurations equals card configurations. All right. So generate shop inventories. There's going to be more to generate in the shop inventory, but for now that should be okay. Oh, and I also need to set up shop map nodes to shop configuration. Right, there we go. Okay. So all that's in place. Now in the shop event state machine, pick cards, set shelf options. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to need to do in here is, let's do this. Let's create a new method in here. Public void set shop configuration. What are you doing, AI? Goodness gracious. So let's just get this flow working first. So we need to get the set shop configuration. We need the shop configuration data in this event state machine. Now, I wonder if I could do it through the context. So we have the current node. Do I have... We don't have that anymore. Do I have... I don't have the seeded run. Do I want to access the seeded run? Probably. Public. So let's go to the run manager. And then inside of the seeded run, we have this method for get combat configuration for node. Let's change this to get shop configuration for node. Shop configuration. Map nodes to shop configuration. Okay. So what I can do here is I can do var current node is equal to context.current node. Var seeded run, well, I can just do this. Var config is equal to context.seeded run.get shop configuration for node. We'll pass in the config there. Okay, so that closes that loop. So now we can focus entirely on what to do in here now. So we've got the set option here. Honestly, I might change this. Shop configuration dot card configuration. This dot card stats is equal to card configuration dot card stats. Okay, this option here, we're gonna do, get rid of this. Shop configuration, card configurations I. These have to be the same length, but it's fine. Okay, so now I just need to change the price label inside of that shelf. Price plaque. Goodness gracious. Did you hear that? One of my neighbors is going insane. All right, so price label. Okay. I wanted to ask, is it possible to change all the properties at once, like predefined template, without going particle get property with all the properties? Oh, is there a reason why you're trying to change the particle properties through code? So it depends on, so there's a couple of options you could do. One, you could create a bunch of different particle process materials through the editor and save them. So if you're only switching between a few discrete particle properties, you can just save the process material, and I think you can just swap it out at runtime depending on which particles you need and be fine. You could also accomplish the same thing by just creating multiple different GPU particle 2D nodes and just hiding and showing the ones that you need. Of course, that's only going to work if you have like a handful of discrete different particles that you want to show. If you're trying to dynamically change like properties like make the particles speed up or whatever based on some kind of value, sorry, that's being very distracting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the answer what I give you. Like, if you're trying to change a bunch of properties at once, just use multiple particle process materials or multiple particle nodes. I think that would be the way to do it. Because you're asking for a predefined template. Yeah, so yeah, I would just save the particle process material and save that to your disk, and then you can just load that into your GPU particle system whenever you need it. Does that help, or is that not quite what you're looking for? What is this doing? Go away. Don't do that. Okay. Price plaque.set price. Private shop configuration.card configuration. This .card configuration is equal to card configuration. Okay. So now when I try to purchase, well, let me just see if this is all working first. Set shelf options, create test data. Oh. Private static void, or private static test card configuration. Okay, there's our test data now. All right, so that should work. Let's build this and see. Do you do your pixel art with a drawing tab or just mouse and keyboard? I find I can't get a tablet set up comfortably. I just do it with mouse and keyboard. I don't have any problems with that. It may be because I am doing things like at a very small level. If I was doing higher resolution pixel art, it might be nicer to be able to draw naturally with my hand. But yeah, I find that just zooming in enough makes it easy enough to control the mouse, and yeah, I don't have any problems with it. I never really thought, man, this would be much better with a tablet. All right, so let's go to the shop and see if I broke anything. So we're gonna have to mosey our way over to the shop. Oh, that does not fade out. Shoot, I gotta fix that. Okay, this shop has what? Incense, syringe, and Amanita muscaria for 14, 14, and 12. Okay. So let's just go right back in with that same seed. What was it? Incense, syringe, and Amanita muscaria for the same value. It was 14, 14, and 11 or 12? Something like that. That needs to disappear. Boom, 14, 14, and 12. Look at that. So our shop inventories are being generated the same with the seed now. Same price and everything. So that's perfect. All right, let's get rid of that seed. Let's go find a more easily testable seed. Here, let's get rid of this. We'll just go in and let it generate one randomly. I'm going to find one that has a shop relatively close. Good night, Magic Man. Sleepy, been great drawing pixel art while watching you slowly improve your game. Watching you slowly improve the next game I'll play. Thank you, Balato. Yeah, good night to you as well, and thanks for joining. Always good to have you here. And yeah, happy you could join. Are we getting 3 block long cards? It should be the chicken. Yeah, there is a 3 block long card already. It's the marionette. This is a weird map. So this might be a good one though. Am I printing this? So let me copy this and put that in there before I forget. So we'll go to the enchant here. Maybe the enchants can stay random. I don't know if it's necessary to make those the same. Let's take a look at the shop though. We got a scarab, a voodoo doll, and a phylactery. So 8, 12, and 8. All right, let's go back in. I'm sure this will work. I just want to be extra sure, that's all. We'll just skip this. Scarab, voodoo doll, phylactery, 8, 12, and 8. Look at that. We're good. All right, so the next thing is, now that those are... So the whole reason I went on this tangent of getting seeded runs in place is because I wanted the shops to have actual prices. So we're right back to where we started the stream now, which is that I have to make the price stuff actually functional. So let me do this. Add seeded configuration for shops. So I do think it makes sense for the shops to have the same inventory depending on the seed. But yeah, so that's that. So now we gotta actually make this functional. Goodness gracious. So the shelf here. All right, let's just do the currency check first. I'm going to create a new static method, public static void. Try take blood. Bool. Return false. If instance.blood is greater than or equal to mount, take blood amount, return true. Yeah, that all works. Okay, so in here, we're going to do if not try currency manager dot try take blood. We need to use that. Okay. Card configuration dot price. What? Just do return. Oh. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, so if not currency manager dot has blood, return. If not succeeded, return currency manager dot take blood. That okay. So I have to split that up because there's two checks that need to succeed before it actually goes through with it. But now I'm kind of I guess in the shop it's not possible to drag and drop a card, which seems a little bit weird to me. Yeah, I can't drag and drop cards off the shelf, which I guess is okay. You need to have an open space. So if I were to reorganize this such that there's no open space for this, that doesn't work. So I'm gonna need to probably, yeah, add some feedback for that. But also I don't have any currency, so that's not gonna work anyway. Is there another shop on this map? No. So let me go earn some currency first. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to add some feedback. There's so much work to do. You know what I could do actually is I can sell some things. Oops. I shouldn't have sold that. What will be the win condition? The win condition is just basically you fight through the entire game and you fight the last boss. I don't know how many bosses there are going to be, but there will be boss boards that you have to beat. So it's going to be like Slay the Spire where you just go through the run, you have to beat the boss at the end of every level, and then that's the win condition, basically. Okay, sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that. Put a booster here. We'll sell this one as well. Bam. Go fight this combat. Goodbye. Then we go back to the shop, and now I should have plenty of money. Can purchase this. That takes away 8. I can purchase this. That takes away 12. Can no longer purchase that. These need to have purchases associated with them as well. Yeah, I'm going to need some feedback there for the shop. But let's go ahead and add pricing to the pedestals as well. So I'm just guaranteeing alchemy, and if, ooh, I could guarantee, oh man, there's so much I could do here. Okay. To do randomize pedestals and allow enchant and grow board. So the idea of the shop is that the shop is kind of like a one-stop shop for having an opportunity to engage in any events that you may not have been able to encounter yet. So the idea is that you go into the shop, and yes, you'll be able to buy cards, but down here there's going to be pedestals that offer you, so this is an alchemy, this is an upgrade opportunity, there's going to be a third one here, but these will be randomized. So it could be like you could get an enchant, you could get a grow board opportunity, alchemy, upgrade, whatever events I happen to add in the future, and you can purchase those. So it's a good way of getting events that you may not have been able to get otherwise. And then here, my plan is on the rug here, there's going to be artifacts for sale. And artifacts are basically just items you can get that passively change how the game works or how the run works, right? So it's the same as relics in any other roguelike game. So yeah, the shop is just going to be a great opportunity to just get anything that you're lacking based on the currency that you have. And so yeah, so I need to do that. And that's probably going to be a good use of my time in terms of next effort. What was I thinking though? I was going to do something. I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm playing Slay the Spire right now. Awesome. Slay the Spire 2 is being made in Godot. You got a tiny bit of competition. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was something that I wanted to do. What was I doing? Anyway. I don't remember. I had something in mind. Oh man, there's so many problems with this game. So many things to address. 84, oh my gosh. Goodbye. Oh, I know what I was going to try. I don't think I've tested this. If I go into the shop and I go into the alchemy, do I get the ability to skip it? I do. Does that take me back to the shop? It does. Okay, cool. I don't think I ever tested that, but that works. So that's great. So yeah, the shop just takes you right into those events here, and you just interact with them right here. So I could put the skeleton in there, put this in there. Bring this out, and I go right back to the shop. Then I can go to the upgrade. That brings up the upgrade. And so that would be the same too if I went to the enchant. So you can just spawn those events right on this screen here. And then once I leave the shop, now I'm back in the map. Oh, that's interesting. If I go to a node that's already been visited, it force triggers everything. Oops. Okay, here we go. Still don't have that there. Goodness gracious, there's so much to do. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. Well, alchemized cards have different prices in terms of like your sale price, or my plan is not to have any alchemized cards available in the shop, although I may change that. I want to come up with different indicators for like which cards have been like I think maybe changing the border effects, because I have a very limited color palette, but what I was thinking is that for any card that has been alchemized, I was thinking about maybe adding a border effect on it. So right now the borders are just solid, not animated, but you could easily imagine like maybe a different color border with a little bit of it, like a shader animation on it to indicate that it's been alchemized. I want to do something similar if the card has like enchantments on it. I just need to come up with very like good noticeable ways of indicating how cards have been altered. And I also think that's going to add more visual variety to the game in terms of what's on your board. So that's something that I want to experiment with too. I just have so much to do. This game was supposed to be easy to make. Oh, it's okay. Sale price. Yeah, I think so. I think I would make the sell price. So that right now the sell price is based on the size of the card and it's based on what tier it is. So this card, for instance, so this is going to give me 2. This should give me 4, I think. Yeah, so 6 because it's a tier up. So it's 1 blood per cell, but then 2 blood per cell if you're at tier 2, 3 blood per cell if you're at tier 3, so on and so forth. And then if it's got enchantments on it, I could add a bonus. If it's got enchants, then that's an extra cost. If it's been alchemized, then it can have another cost associated with it. Should be easy to make every time. I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, like, this game in terms of its mechanics is easy to make, but the hard part is like all of the art and getting all the animations looking good and like getting the runs generated in a sensible way, and the balancing I'm sure is going to be very difficult. But like from a technical standpoint, it's not that difficult. It's not that hard to make. That's why prototypes are super easy, and then you actually focus on making the game and it's like, oof, lots of work. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for joining me with this morning Saturday rainy stream here. I'm going to go get some McDonald's, I think. But in the meantime, check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support my work. I very much appreciate all the support. Thank you all for being here. It's awesome to chat with you as always. And I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I will be back at it Monday. I may have to do a shorter stream on Monday because I have some meetings and whatnot. That darn part-time job, you know what I mean? But I'll be back at it on Monday, and hope to see you there. Let's see. Bye-bye. Give me a pep talk to get back to work. A pep talk to get back to work. I don't know. Work on your game or else you will never finish it. How's that? This is not a very good pep talk. Anyway, thanks again, everyone. I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.